Before we start the video, we have a quick little channel sponsor introducing Filmora 10, a great basic video editing software for the beginner YouTuber that wants to make gaming videos or just anyone in general. Now, Filmora's got this cool keyframing. They've added it into their software now, and what you can do, right, in any video, you need to be able to do keyframing, even basic keyframing, right? And this is very nice because you can move images all around, up and down, just what I'm going to be doing with this Dragonite right here. As you can see, I'm making it move in and out. Then I wanted to do something a little bit more advanced, right? So I threw in the little picture of the baby, and what I'm going to be doing, right, is I'm going to be keyframing this to actually go up and down with their software on the X and Y axis, and then I'm going to spin it around and throw it off the screen just like that. So a lot of stuff that could be used in these programs, especially for your more basic to advanced YouTube videos. There's a lot of different effects you can use in here, which are really nice as well. Filmora 10 is a free software, so you can check this out in the description of the video. The link is there, and also drop a comment saying I love Filmora to win a free license. Thank you, Filmora, for the channel sponsor. What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're going full Infiltrator Ability Pokemon Team. Infiltrator is a really cool ability. It actually ignores Substitute, Reflect, Light Screen, Safeguard, Miss, Aurora, all those sort of things there. Now, it's quite situational, so obviously you won't be seeing it come in use for every single battle, but it is quite nice to actually use all the Pokemon that have that ability on one team. Okay, we have two battles today, and the first one is against Bast. I'm not really sure what their name means or how to say it, but yeah, I did have two random opponents today, and it was a pretty cool battle, to say the least. So we got a Garchomp lead here, and straight off the rip, we got Pokemon. Oh, seriously, come on, guys. Like, I'm gonna say this right now. If you get one of those Pokemon, like, wouldn't you change the name of it? Regardless, we're going to be starting off with the Choice Specs, Final Gambit, Ninjask, and unfortunately, Garchomp is going to be limited one. However, I took it down to a very, very low amount of health. Now, more on that Ninjask set a little bit later on. We're going to go into Noivern here. We got a max special attack, max speed set. We got Boom Burst, Hurricane, Heat Wave, and Dragon Pulse. This one's a little bit more standard, just a normal, and we got the Throat Spray as the items. We're going to basically what we're going to do is the Garchomp, we're going to tell it off for being very naughty with that naughty name, and we're going to get a little boost in special attack there, which is going to be nice. So we're going to, obviously on this one, we're running Timid Nature. We want to go as fast as we possibly can. Next Pokemon to come in here is the Inteleon. So I've got Boom Burst, which is going to be 100% actually. I've got Dragon Pulse of Stab, and I've got Hurricane. Now, the most powerful move here will definitely be Hurricane. Also got the chance of confusing as well. However, that accuracy is like really, really shaky at 70. So I decided in the end to go for it, and it does land on the Inteleon, and Inteleon is going to get one shot of there. So I'm actually having a very, very commanding lead now, taking out both of those Pokemon. I've got a good, strong special attacking sweeper. So the next Pokemon to come in is the White Kyurem. I was like, here we go. I smell... What's that I smell? That's a Dynamax. And we've got on this one Dragon Pulse for this. And I was wondering if it's going to be... I was like, is this going to be Dynamax Weakness Positive Bait? Should I do that or should I go for Hurricane? I decided to go for it in the end. As much damage as I possibly could against it. So here comes the Dynamax Kyurem here. I knew they were going to Baby Bottle Dynamax. I just knew it, right? So here comes the big old Kyurem. Now, this thing is going to drop really hard. Like, it's going to obviously go for a Dragon-type move or a Nice-type move. Regardless, it's going to hit very, very hard. There's no way I'll be able to live it. So I'm going to outspeed there, get the Dragon Pulse off. Does pretty good damage. Like, obviously, this Pokemon's very bulky. And, like, even without the Dynamax there, it would have lived. So that just shows you the bulk of, you know, Kyurem White. So it's going to take me out there, I'm guessing, just with any, like, Ice-type move. And down goes my Noivern. Not much I could have done there. Very, very powerful Pokemon. But Noivern did really, really nicely there. So I've got 4 more Pokemon remaining. And I had to kind of store out this Dynamax, right? So we're going to go into Whimsicott. Now, Whimsicott is running a Choice Scarf set. We've got Moonblast, Switcheroo, Giga Drain, and Hurricane. Max Speed and Max Special Attack. Same EVs as the Noivern, right? Now, on this one, I actually ran Modest Nature because we're already very fast with Choice Scarf, so I wanted to hit a little bit harder on the special moves, right? So I decided instead of going for like just any sort of attacking move, I was going to go for a Dynamax and then go for a Max Guard. Now, what the Max Guard can do is stall out 1 turn of Dynamax. That means the Kyurem only has 1 more turn of Dynamax, right? And, you know, I can possibly take it out with another one of my Pokemon. I wasn't very confident I could take it out with, you know, one shot. It's very, very bulky, right? So go for that Max Guard there. And now, I was actually contemplating going for a second one. I was like, should I go for it and then, you know, then go for the moon, like the Moonblast and Max Starfall afterwards? Like, that would be amazing. I was thinking about it for a while, so no, I can't risk the actual... If I go for Max Guard and it fails, it's still going to have half health, and that's going to be very, very bad. So I may as well get some sort of damage off of the Max Starfall. That's very good damage, by the way, but it wasn't enough, you know, to take it out. Very, very bulky. And now, obviously, we're going to have... obviously it's Max Hailstorm is going to take me out there. Not much I can really do there. Once again, a very, very powerful Pokemon. So it takes out 2 of my Pokemon there. 2 of my better Pokemon too, or my special attackers. Ninjas was like a meme. It was like a choice spec set, and it was very, very horrible. A lot of the time I'd use Final Gambit. Like, it was max special attack and max health, by the way, if I didn't mention that. So now we're going to go to Crobat. Crobat, this is my old faithful Crobat set. I've run this for like years and years and years. It works around the board pretty well. So I've got Curse, White Herb set, Acrobatics, Cross Poison, and Crunch. Sometimes I change Crunch up with Zen Headbutt, sometimes I don't, right? So we got Cross Poison here. I don't want to set up a Curse in front of this thing because it's going to annihilate me, even with a +1 in defense, and we're going to take that out. So that's good, but it did take a lot of my Pokemon out. So it is hailing at the moment, which isn't too good for my Crobat, and out comes Lucario. So it's like, okay, Lucario, what I can do here is I can go for a Curse. Hopefully they're running like a physical set. That'd be better, that they do have physical moves. That way I'll be able to attack them a little bit better. So I've got this one, max speed and max attack. I've got Jolly Nature, and the idea, right, is to go for the Curse. You'll get your bolster in attack and defense. Now you're thinking, okay, well, it's going to drop in speed, but the White Herb will get rid of that speed drop. You'll maintain your speed stat, right? And you'll be more bulky as well. Plus, it'll also power up Acrobatics, right? So Acrobatics will go from 55 base power times 2, right? Okay, so now Crobat is primed and ready on 69 health to go for an Acrobatics against Lucario. Now, Lucario's got pretty decent base defense there, and it does a lot of damage to it, but it doesn't take it out. But still very, very good there. It's going to land 2 Stone Edges in a row on my Crobat, and a Crobat is going to go down. But that's good. Crobat did a lot of damage there, and it wasn't ideal circumstances for it either there. So I was happy with how it did. So we're going to go into Malamar. Now, this set was an absolute meme set. Now, in the right circumstances, this is sort of like, this will work, but not against a Pokemon on a lower man health. I really didn't want to have to go for a Wrap or a Switcheroo here. Now, this is max speed and max health, right? You're probably wondering what this set is all about. So the idea, right, is, oh, Wrap looks different now. Like, Wrap used to be, like, almost the same, but instead of, like, a light purple worm, it's now a dark purple worm. The more you know, people. So we got that, we got a Wrapping Malamar set. Now, my item is Sticky Barb Switcheroo, right? So you trap them with Wrap. You switcheroo them a trick. You switcheroo them a trick. You switcheroo them a Sticky Barb Switcheroo trick. That's amazing. We're going to try that one day. And, right, you go for Toxic, so they take a lot of, like, different layers of damage there. Obviously, it's a very, very gimmicky set, so it's made for really, like, passive Pokemon. You can trap them in and do some damage at Wrap and take them out in a couple of turns. So we're going to go for a Switcheroo there. I get a Black Belt there, and they're going to get a Sticky Barb. So that's good. And now we're going to finish the color off there with that beautiful purple, dark purple Wrap. It looks really good. I like the color change on Wrap. Looks nice. Before it sort of looked like, I don't know, it sort of looked like bubble gum or something like that. I wasn't really sure. So out comes the Angry Bird. It's a good thing it's not shiny. Now, I can't do a lot to this apart from I could go for Switcheroo to see what item it's got. Now I was like, Black Belt. I don't know if I want to do that. Let's go for Toxic. That'll be, you know, some sort of damage to it right over time. However, I'm going to get outspared here by the Zapdos. It's going to be going for a Thunderous Kick, and it's going to kick my little Squiddy right out of this battle. So I've got one more Pokemon left, and they have got 2 right. Now, this is where the battle really started to fire up. So I'm running this Dracloak, right? This is a Everlight sweeping set. We've got Dragon Dance, Dragon Rush Ride, we got Phantom Force, and Steel Wings. It's like, okay, I think I can live, you know, one hit here with the Everlight attached, like whether it be like a flying type move, which I probably think is coming my way. So here comes the Drill Peck there. Drill Peck does a little bit over half. I won't be able to get a second Dragon Dance up. Well, I don't really want to risk that. So I've got Dragon Rush, I've got Phantom Force. Like, okay, Dragon Rush is 75% accuracy, right? I think I'm going to actually need the power, though. So go for Dragon Rush, right? It lands, thank goodness. I missed so many times this move. Does a lot of damage, but it fails to take it out. But I get a flinch with it. You wouldn't read about it. So I am still in this game. So I love how the little, on top of its head, like the little babies ready to launch there, the little Dreepies ready to launch. So I was like, okay, well, if I go for Dragon Rush again, I could miss. Let's go right for Phantom Force. That is 100% actually. Now, if they want to swap into the next Pokemon, they most definitely can. I'm fine. I'm happy to doing some damage to them, and I know they're not going to swap right, and it's going to be 100% accurate. The good thing about this is the opponent does have Protect. It will bust through the Protect too and take it out. So now Zapdos is it's in a very, very vulnerable place there. It can't do anything at all. It's going to get outsped, it's going to get spanked, and it's going to be angry, and it's going to be fading. So that's another Pokemon down there. So we are still in this game. One more Pokemon left, and it is the Charizard, the fake dragon. Now, I was like, okay, Charizard won't be as bulky, but gee, will Dragon Rush take it? I'm not sure. And what, does it have a Dragon Pulse itself? So go for Dragon Rush. It lands again. I was like, this is awesome. It landed. Does a lot of damage to Charizard. And I get another flinch. 2 flinches back to back using that move you wouldn't actually read about. So very, very lucky right now. I was like, okay, let's go for the Phantom Force and finish off the Charizard and get that dub right. So disappearing there in front of the Charizard. And then Charizard counters me with a fly. You wouldn't actually even... Oh, man, they got me good there. Oh, man, they got me real good there. So now Charizard, right, is obviously it's going to miss. It's in the air, right? I fly below, give it a little slap, and it misses. Now Charizard is going to go for the fly, and I actually live on 8 health just due to the bulk of the Everlight. Then I was like, wait, Charizard, right? Charizard's going to go for another fly, predicting my 100% accuracy move. Let's go for Dragon Rush, take that risk, and get that dub. And Charizard is going to go down, but what a finish to this battle. That was crazy. That Dragapult there was absolutely dominating there. And of course, I got some very lucky flinches, which kept me in the game there. Thank you very much for the battle, Ite Bast. If you ever see this battle, thank you, man. That was a great battle there, and some good predictions at the end. Sure. The second battle we have against is Cloud9, and this was a really, really long battle. Like, the amount of times, the amount of time this person took between their turns, like, I was like, wow, man, I could get, like, literally, I could go to the fridge, grab a drink out, put my tea in the microwave, and, you know, it'd be like one turn. So we got a Skarmory lead here. I was like, okay, well, let's go for Final Gambit on the Ninjash again. On the Skarmory. I'm not going to use Final Gambit. Actually, I am going to use Final Gambit on myself. Man, even my mistakes are good. So Skarmory is going to be able to just live that one. It goes for the Whirlwind. So they probably thought I might be setting up Sword Dance. So fair play there to them. I'm going to swap to my Crobat here. There's not much I can really do to Skarmory. I can go for a Crunch, and that's about it. I don't dare go for a Curse because it could get Roost, and then it'll get nasty with Skarmory with like big bulky defense and Whirlwind, right? So I don't want to play that game at all. So it's got the Rocky Helmet as the item. I do take a little bit of damage, but that's all good. I'm happy to get rid of Skarmory, right? It's a very stally, bulky Pokemon. Speaking of stall, we got the Clefable coming out here. So like, interesting swap in. Do they have a special attacking move? Like, what are they going to do against me? Do they have something like Ice Beam or like something weird like that? So I went for Curse anyway. I was like, okay, well, you know what? I may as well set up a Curse here. I mean, if I get +1 in attack, I'll be able to hit it with a pretty powerful Cross Poison. It should be about a 2 to 3 hit KO. Depending on how bulky it is, if it's like a very defensive set with Unaware, maybe 2 to 3 hit KO. Around there. So they pop a Thunder, and Thunder is going to miss. I was like, that explains why they swapped it in. So it's a special attacking EV. I'm not sure if it's got much bulk to it, but let's find out. So go for Cross Poison. Cross Poison does a big amount of damage there, and I actually get the poison too, which is quite nice on Cross Poison. So now here comes the Carmine that obviously very much underestimated the amount of damage that Crobat was going to do, or they thought that I was going to set up another Curse. Either one of those things, Clefable is definitely going to be going down the next turn. Now, looking at their team preview, right, I was thinking, they could swap here. Maybe I should go for Acrobatics. There was one Pokemon I thought they may try and swap in here, you know, to just tank the hit and maybe cause my Crobat to swap or, you know, status it, that sort of thing. So go for Acrobatics here. They did not swap, and Clefable is going to get buried. So Crobat has taken out a Skarmory and a Clefable now, which is really, really nice. So this is the Pokemon I was talking about. It was a Toxapex. I was like, okay, Toxapex. Now, the good and bad... Okay, there's some good and bad things about this. Toxapex could have Haze. Toxapex can't poison me. You know, what's it going to do? You know, so we got the Baneful Bunkers. Like, okay, they probably just wanted to see what I wanted to do. I was like, damn, I could have gone for another Curse there, but it's still on the table, right? I could easily go for another Curse. So go for Acrobatics this turn. On the Toxapex does a lot of damage. I was like, is that a crit? And it was a crit. So I was like, okay, fair play there. So we got a Toxic Spikes from the Toxapex. So I was like, okay. If I was a betting man, I reckon they'll probably go for a Baneful Bunk here, or they'll swap with their Regenerate. So I was like, okay, this could be a good opportunity to go for Curse, get another attack boost and defense boost. Now, I know that I will lose a stage in speed, but I believe I should be able to live any sort of attack and then get a very powerful Acrobatics off, and then, you know, it'll be worth it then. And instead of going for that, they went for Liquidation. So I'm like, okay, that's not going to do anything to me at all. I thought they may be running Skull, but obviously I didn't want to run Skull with, Toxic Spikes, right? So I can go for another Curse, or I could go for Acrobatics. It's like, they might go for a cover. Let's go for Acrobatics. So go for a cover. Sorry, Acrobatics on the recovering Toxapex, and Toxapex is going to go down. So we got a Crobat sweep happening right now, which is pretty nice. So the next Pokemon is Pyukumuku. Like, look at this team. Skarmory, Clefable, Toxapex, and Pyukumuku. This team was very, very bulky and stolly, right? So go for Acrobatics on the Pyukumuku. I thought the counter was going to be coming my way, and we had the Rocky Helmet and the counter. So like, okay, that's cool. Now, you probably could have said, well, why didn't you set up Curse Swap? Look, it could have had Unaware very, very easily, right? And I could have been wasting my time. Then it could have gone for a Soak and a Toxic. You know, it was best for me to get some sort of damage up here and swap in my Malamar. Now, Malamar is absolutely perfect. The only bad thing about this matchup is they do have a Toxic Spikes on the ground, so Malamar's effectiveness is not going to be as good. Plus, you know, they can probably see what I'm going to do now that they've used Protect. So Malamar's going to take a turn of damage. It's not badly poisoned, so I will live a little bit longer than what I normally would have. But, you know, with the Sticky Barb too, I basically have to get rid of the Sticky Barb soon, and I've got a Poison. So I made up my mind, don't go for Wrap, don't go for Switcheroo, go for Toxic or on Pyukumuku. That is like, when you see a Pyukumuku, just poison it, right? Because that really like stops its stolen capabilities, right? So it's going to go for a cover there, which is fine. But inevitably, I know that I can definitely take this thing down to a low amount of health. So the next play here, I was like, I want to get rid of my Sticky Barb. They could swap here, predicting me to go for a Wrap again to trap them into the Wrap and try and take them out and that sort of thing. So they didn't swap. It's like, okay, this is good. So going for Switcheroo now, Pyukumuku is going to get the Sticky Barb, and I'm going to get the Rocky Helmet. So like, that's a pretty good trade-off. So now they're going to go for the counter there. Obviously, I went for Wrap before. Not that Wrap would have done much damage at all to them, but I guess any sort of damage is better than none, right? So Malamar has a little bit of health left there. I've probably got a couple more turns to do much to this Pyukumuku. And I can go for a Wrap too. So I was like, let's go for a Wrap. Let's get some extra damage on this thing. So I think Pyukumuku right here. This was definitely the longest part of the battle. They were really, really stalling me out right here. We've got Recover on the Pyukumuku again. So pretty much they could keep going for Recover. But in that sort of time frame, the Toxic was actually building in power like over and over again. Whereas you compare my Malamar, it was only like just normal poison. Now on this set, I would have liked to run Rest. I really would. Like, normally I could have run something like Rest and Chesto Berry. But then I would have given up Switcher and Sticky Barb. I was like, nah, I want to try the Sticky Barb variant this time. I've run the trapping set on Malamar before. It actually works pretty nicely against these, like, you know, stolly Pokemon. I've also got Topsy-Turvy on there too. If the opponent does try to set up on me, you can just go Topsy-Turvy and, you know, make their stats negative, which is kind of nice. Well, if they go for a positive one, which they, you know, probably would if you're stolen them. So in comes my Whimsicott, and here comes another Recover on the Pyukumuku. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I could go for a Giga Drain here, but I was thinking maybe they'll be scared off by Grass-type Pokemon, you know? Like, maybe they'll swap here. Should I just go for Hurricane? They do have a Pokemon that's weak to Hurricane. It is a Grass-type, so I thought... And also, it is actually immune to that. Well, it's not immune to that. It'll do, like, very, very little damage. So, instead of then swapping, they took the Hurricane, and then they went for Miracle. So, like, okay, Miracle. Miracle does a fair whack of damage to my Whimsicott, and Whimsicott will not be able to live another one here. However, Pyukumuku is going to take some toxic damage from earlier on, and Sticky Barb is going to kick in here, and Sticky Barb actually takes it just over the health bar, and Pyukumuku is going to go down. So, that was perfect. You know, I took it out regardless. Now... the next Pokemon is Roserade. Remember how I was talking about like a grass Pokemon coming in there and a Pokemon I was really like scared of? That is a Roserade. So at this stage, a Smoke is going to take Whimsicott out. I popped the Hurricane. Obviously, I'm Choice Scarf here if I didn't mention that one already. And I outspeed Roserade. And I get a Confusion, which is really good there. So now Roserade can easily take me out with a Poison type move. Nothing I can really do there. However, the Rose, I mean, like, if a Roserade hit itself with Confusion, I feel like if it has like one that storms, like, it just... oh no, pricked itself with one of the storms or something. So I can go for another Hurricane here. Hurricane, unfortunately, is going to miss. Man, that sucks. And now Roserade is going to get through the Confusion and take me out with a Sludge Bomb. You know what? That was an eye for an eye there, because I got the Hurricane, I got the Confusion, they hit themselves, then I missed. So that's fair play there. That's how the cookie crumbles, right? So Roserade's going to take a little bit of damage. I can see that it's got the Life Form. So going to Malamar now, it's like, okay, Malamar, well, I can go for a Wrap here. You know, I could go for a wrap, and they'll take themselves out with life orb damage, so, you know, let's do that, right? So now the Roserade is going to be confused here, and instead of attacking me, it hits itself for confusion and takes itself out. So it's like, okay, well, that was kind of the same result. I couldn't really do anything, like, regardless, so Malamar is going to have a little bit of health left, right? So they are on their last Pokemon. I've still got 2 fresh Pokemon in the back, and I got Malamar to see what sort of set it is. So this is a Appletun there, shiny Appletun too. Don't mind shiny Appletun. And now I can go for a Toxic. I thought Toxic would be a great move to use against this. So get it poisoned if it's a bulky. And they haven't actually done a Dynamax or G-Max yet. So I had a very good feeling they were going to run the G-Max one. So they went Protect there to try and take me out the toxic damage that I obviously received earlier on in the game. Now, Malabar is going to live on 1 health. The merch is available, people. Link in the description. And now I can go for another Toxic. And they put off the double Protect and they got it. So that was very, very lucky. They're getting 2 Protects in a row. Malamar is going to go down. So they managed to get around that. So, you know, this is still game on, you know. Like, if I'd say if I got that Toxic right there, that was probably would have clinched the match for me there. So, Dracloak was so handy in the last battle. I was like, well, why not let's swap it in again, right? So, this time with the Dracloak, I was thinking, you know what? I think I might just damage this thing with a Dragon Rush, you know? I could go for Dynamax, but, you know, they could go for Dynamax as well. And I don't really want to waste my Dynamax here either. I still got my Noivern in the back, which I thought would be probably a better Pokemon than Dynamax, right? So go for Dragon Rush. I was like, this should do some really good damage here. It does a thumping amount of damage to Appletun, almost taking it up there. And here comes the Applelats. So they were dreadfully underestimated my Dracloak there. They were trying to drop my special defense. They probably thought I was running an Everlight set, which I was, and then they go for like a Dragon Pulse and take me out. That's what I'm assuming, like that was like my thought process on how they were thinking, right? So a little bit of extra toxic damage here. They in a very, very bad spot, and they are going to go for the G-Max Appletun here. So my first thoughts here were like, okay, they're on a low amount of health. They know how much Dragon Rush just did to them. Even if they G-Max their big old apple, they're probably going to go for Max Guard. You know, they could possibly go for Max Guard twice in a row to try and stall this out, right? And they were taking an enormous amount of time to make their moves at this stage. Like, you people can't see that because I'm sort of cut the battle and stuff like that. But they were taking a silly amount of time to make their moves with their last Pokemon. So I went for the Dragonets there, predicting their Max Guard, which is fairly predictable. And now I could go for another one, or I could go for I could just attack them, outright attack them, but I might miss. I was a little bit scared that I might miss, then they might take me out. I thought about this for a little while. I was like, you know what I could do? I could go for Phantom Force and stall 1 turn out if they do attack me. As I knew, they went for the double Max Guard there. I'm going to disappear there, and now I can attack them the next turn. We've got 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes now left on the battle. They are going to get some more leftover recovery. They've obviously got Ripen as the ability too. So I know that I can definitely take this out of this range. It's whether or not they're going to go for a Max Guard again. And they didn't. And Dracloak took out the Appletun with a crit, which didn't matter. And that, my friends, is the second battle. I really hope you enjoyed both these. The Infiltrator team was super fun to use. A cool collection of Pokemon. And I'll catch you tomorrow for another theme team. Have a good day or night, afternoon, wherever you live in the world. Peace out.